Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. My name's Mark, and you can see here from the trees behind me, fall has now officially arrived. It only took a week from the leaves changing and most of them falling. So winter's inevitable. So I'm going to do a video on ducks. So I've been getting comments from you about different animals, and oh, can you do more about this, and do more about the goats, do more about the sheep and the ducks. And so I figured I'd do a series over the next 3 to 4 weeks and touch base on all of the different animals and get into a little bit of their stories as well. So I came back here, and of course everybody came back to greet me. It's not your time quite yet, guys. The alpacas, the sheep, and Patches. What are you doing? What are you doing, Patches? This is what they do when they sniff their own pee for some reason. Starting off with hi guys. These are two male Muscovy ducks, and they do the tail wagging. We figure it's because they are happy, because it seems like they're happy. Now, these two Muscovy males were hatched out by a family, and they're extremely friendly. So they come up, what do you want, Tinker? This isn't your shot. They're extremely friendly, and they can come up and just nibble on the on your pant leg to try to get your attention. Now, the small child that is in the family was getting upset because when he went out to see other animals, these two would come up and they would scare him. So they're just trying to show affection. Now, Muscovy ducks are native to more equatorial regions, so they're about the only duck that can't remain outside in the cold winter here in Canada. Down to about -10 degrees Celsius is pretty much all they can handle. What it is Muscovy ducks are a little bit different. Their muscles in their legs actually go down below the feathers on their belly. So what can happen is the muscles can then freeze and they just fall over and they can't move around, so they end up dying. Now, traditional ducks, what'll happen is the legs are remote controlled by little tendons, and the muscles are up underneath their feather line, so they can actually remain outside for well, all winter really. We have problems trying to keep them in the winter time, so we usually close them into the building area in the back there, just to make sure that they're safe. So these ones here are males, with the exception of this one female here. Now if you listen, that's the sound of the Muscovy duck. They've got kind of like a rasp sound to them, whereas the female, which she is probably not going to say anything, she usually has, she's got a little chirp to her. Now, the name of these guys, getting back to them, Hi and Guys, what it was they had names where they came from, but the woman, when she went out, she would just say, Hi Guys, and that's kind of just what stuck, so we're calling them Hi Guys. And I believe this is Alan. We have two Allens. I knew this one over here was Alan, and then I asked Tiana about this one, which I wasn't sure, and she said, I think Mom just calls that one Alan too. And then of course Fernando. Fernando, you're not a waterfowl. You don't like water. So here's another male here. And this one here I believe is also Alan. Another male. Here's another female down here, sitting by the water. The Muscovy ducks have a gestation period of 35 days, I believe it is. It's longer than any other duck. What do we have out here? So we've got the Chinese geese, and I just got pet. What are you doing to my leg? Are you trying to get my attention? Do you want me to pet you? There. Oh, just an attention hog, aren't you? He almost tripped me. Okay, so we have the Chinese geese. So that is the 3 geese here with the bumps on their nose. Jan, God, and Ard. Now, there's 2 females and 1 male, so a nice trio. And what happened with them was they were, it was a woman that had some concerns about these geese at their neighbor's house. But she wanted to keep her neighbor relationship good. So she contacted a mutual friend who then contacted us. And what we ended up doing is went over there and we bought these 3 geese. We said, oh, we're looking for geese like this. Would you sell them to us? And the guy said, sure, you can have them, $100. So we bought them from them. And they've, it was basically a junkyard. The guy wasn't out there very often. It was kind of almost an abandoned house. So they're doing much better now. Now these geese here are Danish geese. They look very similar to sorry, not Danish. I used to call them Danish geese because that's what I thought they were. But soon found out that they were actually Czech geese. Very similar to the Emden goose. Emden geese are a little bit larger than the Czech goose. So we've got 5 of these guys. And they came in, I don't remember their exact story, but same type of situation usually is people, they've either got some geese and they don't want them anymore, or they're moving, or maybe one hatched out and they don't have any companions for it. So geese, if you've watched any videos about geese on YouTube, chasing people, they can be a little aggressive towards people, but as long as you stand your ground, you know, these people in these videos, they just need to turn around and run towards the goose, and the goose will soon run away and take off. But you know, you never run because you always get attacked. You know, they think they have the upper hand. All right, so the 2 black ones here are Cayuga ducks, and I'm not sure which one is the male. I'm going to go with the closer one, which we called him Kai, and he was just a 1 hatch out from somebody, and we got him in. And then we got the other 2. There should be another female around somewhere. We got 2 females that came in. And this is Einstein. Einstein is a crested, yeah, I got that right. A crested Pekin duck. Not a tufted duck, but a crested Pekin duck. So he's got that nice little hairdo. So he was named Einstein. And all it is it's a genetic deformity in the breed. People get that little tuft, and they try to breed that into it because it's kind of neat. He has a little hairdo. You guys are still around, and so are you. I come out and I film, and I've got my little crew here. Okay, so moving right along here. This brown one here that looks like a wild mallard duck, female, is actually a rowan duck. Rowan ducks cannot fly. None of these ducks can really fly. The Muscovies can sometimes, the females, can sometimes fly, but not the larger ones. Now this one here is a Welsh Harlequin female duck, and not that one, and we have some other Welsh Harlequins inside, some young ones that came in about a week ago. So this one came in as, I think, a trio, along with this one, which looks like a male mallard, which is a male rowan duck. Now you can tell the rowans, you can tell the males, or the drakes, by what's called a drake feather on the back of their tail. It's a little curly one that comes up. It's a little hard to see on him, but of course his color gives it right away. Let's see here. Now, usually there's a really good curl on that back tail. Maybe it fell out and he's growing his new drake feather in. She's going into kind of like a submissive quacking. Her head's down and she's doing a little quack. It's kind of a submissive pose. So these 2, and then there's a third one. Again, what are you doing to my leg? You guys are crazy. See, and this is why, you know, you get a young child that's out here with them and they keep on coming up like this. Well, the child's going to get scared. They're just going to follow me around the whole time. Okay, those are chickens over there. So let's, I think, go inside because that's everybody out here. Now, well, I'll show you where these guys go in, just to give you an idea. So it's, hey guys, nice little bridge. This is getting a little bit better since we put the eaves in, but it's still quite muddy, but the pigs love it. You can see here, Tara has put down some oats and some barley for seeding. So it does make a really good seed. You get some nice luscious grass from it. So that's the chicken pen that's now closed up, the pigeon and peafowl pen over here. So this is the area that we put the ducks. And of course, this is where all the girl rabbits are right now. But we're going to have, likely in this area here, we've now got a door to access out to the front pen here. So we'll likely just put them kind of in this area here. We'll probably open up this gate and just have this kind of open, have their feed in here. We usually put a water dish down here. Now we put water in the morning and then we put water in the evening. We want to make sure we're not putting water in all the time because generally you get a big ice volcano that happens here because they just play in it. And then we'll probably leave that closed and this open, and then on the cold nights we'll just kind of close them completely in. Now what I've done is I've got a thermostat here. It's a little dirty with all this fly stuff on it, but it's wired up and I've changed the calibration on it so it drops down to 0 degrees so that I can have it come on at 1 degrees Celsius, so right above freezing, and I've got this plugged into it that goes over to the controller, and then I've got one each that come out of the controller to here, and then we just put a heat lamp and we hook a heat lamp on a hook up in this area here. It hangs down, and if we decide to put the water in here, that's the best place for it. Or just to have an area that they can go around, and it's just to take that chill off. But we haven't lost any of the any ducks to the weather, but the Muscovies do definitely need to go in. These guys seem to be enjoying themselves. All right, well, let's go inside. What are you doing, Tinker? Are you waiting for me? Oh, that's Lambert. No, that's Tinker. You guys all look the same. Tinker has little dots on her nose. So Drake is one duck that I missed. He looks like he's looking for little niblets here in the mud. Drake is, I believe he's about 4 years old. A couple months ago, he was, I did show him, and he was pretty rough looking because he was molting. So he's now all in full plumage, looking pretty good. And he came in, he was a lone duck that was hatched out. I believe it was a little boy that hatched him out, along with some other Muscovy ducks. And he was the only one that came about. So they figured he was a little lonely and brought him here to live on the farm. They seem to really like the ducks, and the geese seem to really like this mud, right along with the pigs. I don't know what they're finding in there, but they're obviously finding something. They're completely white, with the exception of their brown beak. Right in there with the pigs. Okay, here we are inside, and I know I'll have to show this little boy here because he is a fan favorite. Hey, Sheldon. Hi, bud. Hi. Yes, you just like running around, don't you? Such a silly little man. So Sheldon will get to in a goat video, which maybe I'll do next weekend. Go over all the goats and tell their stories. And this one's a special one for his own reasons, as a lot of them are. Yeah, I know, Zeus. What do you think? It's not morning, though. It's actually afternoon. But nice try. Alright, so here are some little juvenile ducks. These are Welsh Harlequins. So we did see the one outside, and you can kind of get a little feel for the coloring that's coming in on this one. And these ones came in because somebody had hatched out some ducklings. For whatever reason, I'm not sure. I think maybe they were sit on, or it could have been in an incubator. I'm not sure. But with winter upon us, they were concerned because they didn't have a place for them. So we brought them in here. We're going to keep them in this building because it is a lot warmer. It actually stays above 0 in this building because of how well it's insulated. And then, of course, our guineas and our guinea keats are in here as well. So they're going to hang out together. And they'll likely be in here for most of the winter. We may eventually put these little guys outside with the other ones when the time comes that they're fully feathered. But we may just keep them in here. Hey? With all the guineas. Now, I did mention this, I think, last video. You can see there's no water in there. We don't want to put water in there regularly because they'll just play in it. Muscovy ducks are really the only ones that you can get away with putting water and having water in there. Muscovies don't really play. They drink and that's about it. But other ducks, they just love water. And they'll just play in it and you'll get it all messy. Hey guys? Now you can start to hear the females. So the females have a quack, your traditional duck quack. And then the males have a kind of a rasp. So that's a female. Let's see if we can hear a male. Okay, where's the boys? Talk. Anybody? If I move, if I go in, probably, get them all excited. Okay. You can hear, it's kind of like a little whistling. Those are the males. And then the quack is the full-on quack is the female. And how are you guys liking your new shelter? Somewhere cozy to get out of the wetness. Oh, hi, Barry. What are you doing, bud? Okay, let's get out of this muck here. Oh, hopefully things dry up. It's supposed to dry up soon. So I believe I have covered all of the ducks that we have on yard now. So there's 5 of these Czech geese, and there are 3 of these Chinese geese, and of course there's these 2 hi guy boys, always looking for attention, now hanging out with it's funny because Fernando kind of gets a little upset at them from time to time, probably because they're taking the spotlight. He says, hey, I'm the #1 bird around here, you guys just beat it. So that's it for this video on our waterfowl here. So I'll likely do one maybe on goats, or goats and alpacas, or I'll figure something out in the next video. I did notice that we have gotten an influx of subscribers, so I'd like to welcome all you new subscribers. It looks like 175 in the last couple days. So that's great to see. And leave some comments below and tell me what you want to know, what you want to see, and I'll try to make that happen and answer any questions that you have. So we did have a fundraiser last night. It was a bingo bowl. It was our first event that we did outside of the farm for fundraising. Usually how the money comes in to help with the animals is we do, one is goat yoga, which is very successful over the summertime, and the other one is we have a $5 donation fee for people to come in and just visit the farm. So we're usually open on weekends during the summer, and then sometimes we'll throw in a couple during the week. And then we also do mobile petting farms, which we're likely going to simmer down a little bit on, just because it gets busy during the summer, and we don't need to go out and do those. And it's a little stressful on the animals. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.